Well, hello everybody. This is me, Stan Brook again in Puerto Vallarta with another video fishing report. We've had a couple interesting things happen here in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's about time I did another report. One of the things that we've seen here lately is red tide. I don't want to start out with the bad stuff, but we started with red tide today because red tide will naturally affect everything. A couple different conditions have been going on. Let's start with Corbatania. Corbatania, 35 miles out from Puerto Vallarta, is normally one of our best fishing areas. It's probably one of the best fishing grounds in the world when it comes to things like marlin, sailfish, Dorado, and tuna. But right now what we're in a bit of a transition period. We're in April now. We've just passed Easter. This time of the year, all the fish are always full of eggs. You can just count on it. And when they're full of eggs, they don't like to take bait. And when they don't like to take bait, that really goes kind of against your well, I guess against your plan if you're trying to catch any fish. So what we're seeing right now is we're seeing red tide and a lot of bait, and we still have a lot of krill out there, even though the whales have left. And these are the challenges that we have to put up with every April. The good thing about April is once we get past Easter, the tourism goes down, and the time of the year where the tourism isn't all packed up and running hard here in Puerto Vallarta is that's probably the worst time of the year to go fishing around here. And we're coming into that time right now. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but April, May till about mid-June, things can be very slow tourism-wise. Fishing, you can go out there and you catch some fish, but the problem is you're not going to find any tuna or marlin. Now, normally that would be true, but right now we've got striped marlin in the area. Everything is going to be kind of north of Corbatania. We're talking about Corbatania right now, about 10 miles or so north of Corbatania. Out there, last week they were seeing some 100-pound tuna. This week they've seen some stripers out there, but the deal is you can't get anything to take any bait. Right now with these seasonal changes, we see the whales move out. The krill is still out there. There's still a lot of fish eating it, and we don't even have blue water out there. The blue water hasn't been here for Christ now months, but the clean green water's been okay. It's cooler. It had a lot of bait in that, and that's kind of like where we are right now. We're kind of like in a transitional period where, if you catch the bite just right, the fish are coming up, and you're in the right area, you can have a lot of fun. So for the next month or so, targeting really big fish is going to be an on and off kind of thing, probably mostly off. And another thing is fish are moving. I mean, where they were yesterday, they're not going to be there tomorrow. And the day after tomorrow is the crapshoot. So you got to go out there with enough time and enough fuel to make sure that when they do pop up, they could be 5-10 miles away from where you are. When they do pop up, you can actually get out there and chase them down. Yeah, that's the important thing these days, having enough fuel and having the time and the patience to go out there and catch fish. So to get to the meat of the subject here, if you're out there in Corbatania, they do have sailfish out there, they do have striped marlin. They have been seeing some yellowfin tuna, anywhere from 40 to 100 pounds. And I'm not talking with spinner dolphin either, so they're just out there natural. A lot of sardines running the area. We got flying fish, mullets, goggle eyes. But the big bait this week are green runners. Now, you just can't go buy green runner over here at the bait boat in the morning. So what you have to do is you have to go out there and you have to catch your own. And any kind of little spoon, anything shiny out there, small, will catch a green runner. And if you're running green runners out there, you're catching fish. That's it. I mean, it's just that easy. If you're running green runners out there, you're catching fish, you're having fun, and that's that. So good luck on the green runners because you have to go out there and fish for those first. Now, if you're over there by Punta de Mita, anywhere from backside of Melmore, I'm seeing a lot of skipjack tuna. And skipjack tuna, some guys, that's an arctopodida. Some of them look like a real tuna, like a yellowfin tuna. And but they do have another brand called skipjack, so they call everything skipjacks out there. You can eat the bait. I eat it all the time. It's tuna, right? And but they got a lot of that going on out there. And when you move a little farther north, when you get around Punta de Mita, they got a rock out there. It's called Marinal. And it's right there off the point of Punta de Mita. Well, I should say it's off Caballeros up there if you know the area. And that's where all the rooster fishermen happened. I put some guys out last week, and they caught like 5 of them, all of them over 40 pounds. Had a lot of action, and I was kind of calling that down, saying, don't get too excited. It's going to be a crapshoot, but then all of a sudden they caught all kinds of fish. So, the moral of that story is, even when you think it could be bad, it's probably better. If it's been bad for a few days, it's probably better. So you went out and caught a bunch of Dorado. You went out and caught a bunch of Rooster fish. Things slowed down a little bit, but then the sardines came back in, and now they're picking up again. So you've got rooster fish, which is, a lot of people really want to catch rooster fish. They're fun to catch. They're active out there right now. If you have a little bit of luck at Punta Mita, that area, you'll find a Dorado in the 20-pound range, maybe a little bit bigger. Although there's not too many of those around out there. There are still a few. If you want to spend a longer day, take a 10-hour day, you can get up north of that, get up around Guayabitos, and now you got a shot at striped marlin and sailfish. But that's a pretty long way to haul, and they're also having the same situations. A little thing that you should keep in mind is that if you're more than 3 to 4 miles out away from the shore, farther out, it gets tougher. Everything is close to shore right now. So, just do yourself a favor and, don't go thinking that you're going to chase some bigger fish farther out, because it's not working. So you want to be closer in, and you want to use green runners. Now, the other most important thing you want to know is the bite is happening about 10 o'clock and at 3 o'clock. Why is that important? Well, sometimes the afternoon bite is better than the morning bite. Everybody around here, they take off in the morning. They've got this idea in their head, like they're fishing fresh water, that it's going to happen right in the morning, but it's not always like that. So what you want to do is, it's kind of good to kind of see what's going on with the guys that are going out in the afternoon, which of course right now, when things are slow tourism-wise after Easter, not that many boats are going out, and it's kind of hard to keep that in check. So just remember that if you're not an early riser, or you're with the family and you want to do some things, target the afternoon bite. The bite's happening at 3 o'clock. Leave here at 12 o'clock, get out there by about 1 o'clock, have the whole afternoon, and then come on back in and enjoy the afternoon, have some fun. So afternoon bite's a thing to remember. The distance from the beach is another thing to remember. And that's about it. Inside the bay, we're seeing a whole lot of Jack Crevalles. We've got a lot of bonito. I always call bonito. You got Sierra mackerels, and of course they've got other species out there. You'll run into needlefish, and believe it or not, they got triggerfish out there. The kind of fish that eat the coral. They got that mouth like a giant tooth. So they eat that, but they're very good tasting, and anything around structure, I have a lot of fun. Right now, what we're calling it action fishing. You go out there 4 or 6 hours, you get yourself 20, 30, who knows, maybe 40 bonita, and basically you're really fishing the whole time. You put that, you use like tackle on that, it makes that 20-pound fish feel like he's about 80 pounds, and you'd be surprised the fight on this thing is absolutely amazing. So that's kind of like what the situation is right now. As long as you're going out to have fun, your expectations are a little bit lower, you're not expecting to catch Moby Dick, you can have a lot of fun. If you're out there looking for billfish or looking for bigger tuna, well, wait a couple of months and then you'll be right on time with that one. So that's my biggest suggestion right now, is just, go out to have some fun, and don't wait for the big fish to come up a little bit later. That's our best fishing option right now. The weather right now is starting to warm up a little bit. Every day is a little bit warmer. I think we're going to have an early summer this year. And, well, maybe that's not a bad thing. I mean, after a La Nina year like that, maybe we get some warm water in here and get some big tuna again. For those of you that are interested in this sort of thing, we've got the Tres Marias Islands out there. Now, the Tres Marias are about 100 miles in one direction. And most people talk about 3, but there's actually 4 islands out there, each one about 30, 40 miles apart. Now, this is a tuna fishery. Normally, you wouldn't go fishing out there. And, when the sailors came through and they kind of picked through everything, those long-range guys down there from Southern California started coming in, and, well, it kind of changed things around here quite a bit, fishing-wise. So not a lot of people are going out there. It's an expensive trip. I've got a trip I can put you out there for 2.5 days, $9,800, $9,800. 6 people, everything's included, luxury boat, air conditioning, and, you can go with your friends. They don't put you on one of those cattle cars where, you have one guy in the boat that you can't stand. I clean that up. You got one guy in the boat you don't like, that boat's not big enough. Then you get a couple of them together because they like to run in packs. Well, that could make a 3-day trip into a living hell. So we got some really nice trips available. I got some smaller boats for less money, so if you're interested, let me know. Right now out there, they're seeing yellowfin tuna anywhere from 200 to about 300 pounds. You know, some days are better than others, but you should be warned that these guys are fishing. I'm not going to say illegally, but they're fishing on top of the reefs, and the Navy will go chase you if you're too close to the islands. So you got to be really aware of that. And a lot of guys are out there. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. Some guys get away with some stuff, so they must have an arrangement with somebody. But right now, everything is kind of cooking out there. It'll be much better during the summertime. I'll do a complete video on that one later on. But for the guys that are interested in that sort of thing, yeah, we're doing all right out there. So I guess I could probably say more, but this has already gotten kind of long. I've put a lot of kind of fluff in here. So for now, that's about it. The fishing is good. The weather's warming up. The tourism is down. A couple of months from now, I think about 2 weeks from now, all the red tide and all the krill will be gone, and we'll have new species moving in the area. Like I said, in the transition, all the cold water species will be pulling out. You won't be seeing jacks around here much longer. If it's normal, you won't be seeing much around there. And should start seeing maybe a little bit of luck. We'll see some Dorado come back in, but the tuna, sailfish will be coming on March. They usually come in, so sailfish will be picking up in numbers as the days go by. And I think once we get past this red tide, we got some other species coming in the area. The fishing could really turn into another world-class situation like we kind of like around here. So we're doing tours now, and we're selling yachts. I should say we're renting yachts, and I started a new yacht page. We're going to start selling yachts as well. If you have a boat, as long as it's $1 million or more, we'll go ahead and work with you. And, well, I guess that's all in all right now. I don't want to get too into this, so I just want to say appreciate y'all watching. We don't get all that many hits out there because, it's kind of a focus thing, but feel free to share, subscribe, like, whatever you can do. Go ahead and do it. I'm doing newsletters also if you want to get the stuff in the mail every week. And I also did some articles called Living Like a Local. If you want to put my webpage, you'll see a few of those. I pretty should probably write more of those, but I've written so many now that I've got a pretty good backlog on there. And other than that, life is good here in Puerto Vallarta, no real problems. And just remember, when they tell you Mexico is dangerous, well, maybe you should look in your backyard and compare what's going on down here and what's going on up there, and it'll all make sense. There's a reason people are moving down here, they're not going back. So for now, this is Stan of Puerto Vallarta saying thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. Don't forget to kiss your fish, and we'll see you soon. Hustle away. Bye-bye.
Mira, güey, ese birds right there. Revuelto, güey. Yo quiero gallo, güey, con otra foto diferente. Be careful con other pole. Gallo no, güey. No, es un medregal, güey. Oh my God. Métele, güey. Stand back, my friend. Stand back. Métese donde sea. Really more. Really, a little more. Really slow. Very slow. Very slow. Give me the line. Okay. No te la fallo. Ya, Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, man.